Welcome back. Now, Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee has conducted an oversight visit to South African Airways and the SA Express. Well, the aim was to understand how the airlines operate on a daily basis. Both SAA and SA Express have had their share of financial difficulties, and SA Express flights were suspended for 2 days this week. But my guest tonight is Khaya Magaxa, the portfolio chairperson, who is in our Cape Town studio. Khaya, thank you so much for your time. And I suppose let's talk about the oversight which was conducted, I understand, by the portfolio committee. I mean, what have you found in terms of, state-owned enterprises, including especially the bailouts received by Denel today?
Well, the intention of our oversight was based on familiarizing the members of the committee to at least understand what are the operations in all these state enterprises, and also have an interaction with the people who are working there, ordinary workers, operators, and those that are more closer, including board members of those institutions. That was the intention, so that at least when we execute our legislative role, we do have a sense of what are the functions and operations in those state institutions. And
with those operations, Khaya, I'm sure you've also identified some of the challenges which have led the likes of SAA and SA Express to be where they are today. I mean, what are some of the turnaround strategies that have been put in place to make sure that those attributions with regards to financial historical debts incurred by SA Express do not occur again?
Well, insofar as Denel, Transnet, and also Eskom, we have outstanding meetings that are supposed to take place in the coming weeks, and they will make their presentation to us as a committee, and I think also Eskom will be presenting with their strategic document, which intends to turn the situation around. And we have not yet had an access to that particular document. I think in the 2 next weeks that are coming, we'll be in a position to at least interact with that particular document and find a way forward. In so far as the SA Express, of which our intention was never been to get into those nitty-gritties, but due to the developments of Wednesday, we find ourselves having to interact and get those details because there was this development of the grounding of SA Express. Therefore, we sort of being briefed by the acting group CEO there, as including the chairperson of the board who happened to be part of the meeting, and they took us through on the problems, including the contemporary developments that involve the grounding. We got to be informed that actually SA Express have been experiencing financial problems, and even the grounding on Wednesday was based on the old debt that they have been owing. We sort of also get another briefing from the Deputy Minister, who was already on the ground together with the Minister of Transport, and they came up with a mechanism to rescue the situation, including involving the Minister of Finance in that regard. We were informed, in actual fact, that there were processes in place, and also the boards of AXA, which actually the people that grounded SA Express has been engaged, and there were processes to actually resolve that problem when we met yesterday. And we understand that today everything has been resolved.
Let's come back to also the issue of Denel here, Khaya. There are also reports that there's a possibility of another bailout. This, of course, in its billions. What informs this, if it is true?
Well, we are unable at this point to get to those details until Denel board and also the senior management meet with us as a portfolio committee and briefed us, and then we'll be in a position to assist them to find a way out from this problem. But all what we are aware of is that there is a good at least processes that are taking place, and there is a lot of potential with the Dinel, and they can resolve. They resolve those problems, especially if the shareholder, the main shareholder, which is our government, can come on board, and including those other kind of red tapes that are frustrating Dinel. Because all these entities, what you must acknowledge, all these entities are a product or a victim of state capture. Therefore, problems of state capture affected these entities, and they are still continuing. I can make one example that is also a suspect of state capture, but I cannot be 100% sure, but it still needs to be investigated. Dinel produces a lot of things that can be used by the army, but the army continue getting some kind of business somewhere else instead of utilizing that, and it frustrates the business with Dinel. Therefore, until we resolve those issues, we are intending to meet with the board of Dinel together with the board of the army, with the portfolio committee of the army, of the military, so that they can assist us, or defense, so that they can assist us to find a way out of this problem.
Let's also touch on another state-owned, enterprise. The SABC has been in a financial crisis for a while. Have you consulted with the board, including the Minister of Communications, as to when they will also receive their bailout?
Well, I cannot lie to you. We have not yet met with the SABC. SABC doesn't also fall within our own jurisdiction as a portfolio committee.
All right, then. Well, Khaya Magaxa, thank you so much for your time. That was Khaya Magaxa, the Public Enterprise Portfolio Committee Chairperson.